From the Mountnear Global Headquarters in Bay Area, California, this is the CBS Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Abby Jones. We start tonight with breaking news. Elon Musk was the headliner at Trump's cabinet meeting today. The president is surrounded by those with a seat of power in his administration, but it was Musk who held the floor defending his work as department doge.
We've put together a great cabinet.
At the first cabinet meeting of his new administration, President Trump endorsed Elon Musk's efforts to reduce government spending and cut the federal workforce.
Hey, Elon, let the cabinet speak just for a second. Is anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, well, throw him out of here.
And taking a lot of flack and getting a lot of death threats, by the way. But if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt. That's why it has to be done.
Just before Trump addressed reporters, a memo was sent to government agency heads directing them to undertake preparations to initiate large-scale reductions in force consistent with applicable law.
This country has gotten bloated and fat and disgusting and incompetently run.
Trump signed an executive order Wednesday directing some federal agencies to further review spending and apply more cost-cutting measures. During that cabinet meeting, the president also addressed Russia's war with Ukraine, saying he thinks Russian President Vladimir Putin will have to make some concessions to reach a peace deal with Ukraine.
He's going to have to. And I believe that because we got elected, that war will come to an end.
Trump also signaled that Ukraine may not be allowed to join NATO.
NATO you can forget about. I think that's probably the reason the whole thing started.
The president says Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will visit the White House on Friday to sign a critical minerals deal framework reached between the U.S. and Ukraine. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
With the rise of internet came the rise of scams, the latest using cryptocurrency and the unknown around the vital currency. But as scams grow, the FBI is hoping to get you before the criminals do.
Cryptocurrency investment fraud is the largest and most prevalent and most costly scam that's kind of going on that the FBI is tracking right now.
Over the last few years, cryptocurrency has gained popularity with everyday consumers, but it has also gained popularity with scammers. Now, to combat the increase in scams, the FBI launched Operation Level Up.
Cryptocurrency being a prevalent and what a lot of people are looking to invest in right now, that's where we see it. And anytime there is a new rise, a new investment, that's what we're tracking. And this one has risen exponentially over the last few years.
Here's how the scam works. A scammer will reach out to someone online and build a relationship with them. Eventually, they will ask that person to invest in crypto.
We see it across all social media, all online websites.
When a person invests in one of these scams, it can appear to be a great investment. But while it looks like your money is multiplying, the trouble comes when you are trying to pull it out.
The victims want to get their money out, they think they've made a profit and they haven't, and eventually they're unable to get any of their money.
According to the FBI, 76% of the over 4,300 victims across the United States were not aware that they were even being scammed. During Operation Level Up, the FBI says they have saved victims more than $285 million.
That they are the victim of a scam and to prevent any more money or any money at all going to the criminals.
The FBI has shared tips such as always being hesitant to release any personal information. Do not invest solely off the advice from someone you have met online. If you do get in contact with someone you think might be a scam, the FBI says to report it. Still ahead here on CBS Evening News on tonight's roundup, the measles outbreak in West Texas counties continue to spread. CBS intern Cameron DeZeus has the latest. On tonight's Evening Inside, we look at the U.S. National Park layoffs and how employees are dealing with it. Actress Michelle Trachtenberg, who starred in Gossip Girl, has died. A tribute will be coming up on the CBS Evening News.
Let's go dogs. I'm a dancing tongue and I like the taste of cold fall. Makes me wanna party. Have you ever seen a tongue do this? Have you made love? Give me cold, give me cold. Everybody now. Give me cold, give me cold.
Measles outbreak in West Texas continues to spread. It's mainly affecting children and teenagers without measles vaccinations. Take a look.
It's not hard to get a smile out of little Emmett. But when his mom, Alyssa Nidrar, noticed measles-like symptoms after getting the vaccine,
I felt very helpless and scared because there's nothing you can do at that point.
See, Emmett is sensitive to many vaccines. While his parents and doctors work to find what causes these reactions, they've decided to keep him out of certain public spaces like daycare.
I know he had challenging reactions with different ones, and although I know they're very important, that is scary to me.
Which Parkland Health's Dr. Donna Prasad says is understandable as measles cases rise, particularly in vulnerable populations, seniors and children.
Kindergarten vaccine rates are low. In some places, they're down to 88%.
She says studies show there's higher risk for outbreaks when vaccinations get below 95%. So when should your child get vaccinated?
The response to the vaccine is strongest starting at 12 months, and you want to keep them protected.
Dr. Prasad says doctors can recommend the vaccine to infants 6 to 11 months in special circumstances, such as traveling internationally or to places with outbreaks.
When they turn 1 year of age, they will still need to get their series of vaccines.
She says one vaccine is 95% effective, but two, 1 month apart, is 97%. So for seniors,
People born before 1957 are regarded as generally immune because it was so common.
Dr. Prasad says the vaccines given in the 60s and 70s is not as effective as today's. So it's okay to get another one now, especially if you're immunocompromised. To protect little ones like Emmett, who's vaccinated but has reactions to it.
And I don't want anyone else to get sick, and I don't want him to get sick.
In Far East Dallas, I'm Brittany Moncrief.
CBS News intern Cameron DeZeus is with us at the nation's capital. Good evening, Cameron.
Good evening, Abby. The latest numbers that have come out in this case outbreak had around over 90 cases in the entire state of Texas. We expect those numbers to be updated in the possible next hour. We are seeing major drops in vaccine rates across the United States as well.
If you have COVID vaccine, you can still get COVID, but is that different from measles?
Doctors are saying that there is a 97% chance that if they do get the vaccine for measles, it's very unlikely that they would catch it.
All right, Cameron, thank you. Coming up, tonight's Evening Inside.
This one goes better with the walls.
This is so much easier than the home improvement store.
So which would you recommend?
Do you like brown? Hey.
Yeah, some things are just better at home. With Empire's Home Floor Advantage, you can compare samples in your own space. Plus, I'll be here to help you with every step of the process.
And do you remember trying to figure out pricing and installation?
There's the measurement fee, delivery fee, restocking fee, convenience fee.
And installation.
Oh, no. That's not my department.
We have clear, all-inclusive pricing. No surprises. And installation is on your schedule. It could even be installed tomorrow.
Call or visit EmpireToday.com and get the Home Floor Advantage.
It really is better at home.
800-588-2300.
Empire Today. Our next story on Evening Inside discusses the perspective on U.S. national park layoffs, how it affects the employees and communities.
This summer, the family trip to a national forest might look a little different.
I think there's a lot of unforeseen consequences that the general public aren't always aware of.
What do you fear then? What could happen?
Myself and whoever else is out are picking up trash every day. We're clearing the trails for people to access the wilderness. And that's not going to happen this year.
It was everything that I had worked for a long time.
Dalen Grindle, along with Jack Corney and Tim Leedy, recently received a letter each that said they were being fired for poor job performance.
What was your reaction when you saw that the reason you're being fired was because of poor performance?
I mean, it's not the real reason.
You know, I put my heart and soul into that job, and that's just not true.
It's pretty devastating to lose this job.
Let's say you just arrived in town and you want some information about the forest, maybe a good place to camp or trail to hike on, or maybe you're scared about bears. You come to a place like this, your local ranger station. But because of the recent firings, this one won't be open anytime soon. The cuts come as wildfires become more frequent and more severe. Show of hands, how many of you were qualified to fight fires? So you guys could have all been on the front lines this summer fighting fires if needed.
Yes.
Did you guys see yourselves making a career out of the Forest Service?
Yeah, I was going to be in this job for like 30 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just had I have an 8-month-old baby right now, so there's like the potential stability there, and yeah, just the longevity. It was definitely going to be probably my last career.
That new father was the sole earner in the family. Their health insurance is now gone, and the ripple effect is going to be felt across entire communities. The Forest Service is often the top employer in rural areas, which also helps facilitate tourism. And in Wyoming alone, tourists spend billions of dollars every year. Ian Lee, CBS News, Lander, Wyoming.
That's this week's Evening Inside. We will be right back with a tribute to Michelle Trachtenberg. Michelle Trachtenberg was an iconic figure in the film landscape. The actress is known for her roles in Gossip Girl, Buffy, and Harriet the Spy. Trachtenberg was found unresponsive in her apartment and was pronounced dead at the scene. Michelle Trachtenberg will be remembered as an amazing person in the industry. That's the CBS Evening News. I'm Abby Jones. Have a good night.